dated on 5th of May 2025 on behalf of the residents of Makindu Ward regarding the Makindu Lorry Park and Open Air Market public lands. Chairperson, Committee on Lands.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the committee has not been able to finalize on the report on petition. Upon receiving the petition, the committee wrote to the ACM, Lands and Urban Planning Development and Climate Change on 6 May 2025 by a letter reference MCA Lands COR 25/12, requesting for the input and use liaison committee in line with Section 78 of the Fiscal and Land Planning Act, that is BLAP 2019. The committee therefore resolved to order a consultative meeting with the ACM and the County Fiscal and Land Planning Liaison Committee on the deliberation on the petition before meeting the petitioners on the same matter. The committee hereby invited the ACM for consultation meeting on 25th August 2025, further responding to invite the County Fiscal and Land Use Planning Liaison Committee, accompanied by him to the meeting. The ACM, through a letter dated 25th of August 2025, indicated that the County Fiscal and Land Use Planning Liaison Committee would not manage to attend on the responded date due to quorum issues, and therefore requesting that the meeting be responded and
Chair, seeking to refer you to Standing Order 230 of the Committee of Petitions to a sectoral committee. And part 2 reads that whenever a petition is committed to a sectoral committee, the committee shall not in more than 60 days, 60 calendar days. Therefore, listening to you carefully and looking at the petition was read by the Speaker on behalf of the people of Makindu, not on behalf of the MCA, and neither on behalf of the committee. Therefore, I think it's in order for us to be fair, to abide by the standing orders, that within 60 days, because you look at this petition was requested on May 2025. So we have had June, July, August, September. Those are 4 months times 30, 120 days. We have multiplied by 2. It may not sound fair to the people of Makindu for us to conclude this petition. And therefore, I even thought in your submissions, it's good for you to indicate to the Assembly, to the honorable members, what is the timeline for you to submit this report to the Assembly. At least on the list, you'll have given even us a timeline, because we have doubled the time that we're supposed to present this.
Yeah, as Honorable Speaker, as I've mentioned, any complaints, Makindu, we passed the land use plan for Makindu. And if there's any complaint emanating from the land use plan, there's a committee known as the County Fiscal Land Liaison Committee, which is supposed to listen to any complaint, but they have not met. That is what delayed us, because they are supposed to advise what actually we are supposed to actually discuss with the petitioners. But we can actually always go without even, we can ignore them. But as per the law, you are supposed to first listen. They are supposed to listen to anything emanating from any past land use plan.
Chair, I thought the petitioners petitioned this assembly because a petition is a direct prayer to the assembly. They felt that it was safer for them to come to this place. And the petition was received by the clerk of the county assembly to be responded within 60 days. Therefore, without the bureaucracies, because it is within your prerogative to get in touch with that committee. If they didn't handle it as an issue, it means the petitioners had a lot of faith in you as a chair, not as that committee. Therefore, I thought it would have been better if it didn't go through them, then it would have been better for you to write to them. If they didn't receive it, you could have gone ahead to prepare a report. Exactly. You can use the microphone. Thank you.
So let me say.
You can press it again.
Yeah. Honorable Speaker, I'm saying we can meet the petitioners even without meeting them. Actually, give us like 7 days from now.
7 days? Given. Chairperson, Committee on Environment and Climate Change, to present a petition, a response to a public petition presented on 11th of March 2025 on behalf of the residents of Makindu Ward regarding the evacuation and gazettement of key wetland in Makindu Ward. Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to present the report as compiled by the Committee on Petition to the County Assembly regarding the status of the gazettement of the key wetland in Makindu Ward to County Assembly as read together with the Section 5, subsection 2, 3, and 4 of the petition to County Assembly's Procedure Act 2020. The petition was presented to the County Assembly by the Honorable Speaker on 9th July 2025 and committed to the Committee on the Environment and Climate Change to consider and respond to the petitioner's prayer by way of a report within 60 days. In the petition, Annex 1, it was alleged that Q wetland in Makindu Ward was identified as a key environmental resource from biodiversity, source of water, and the livelihood of local communities. The National Wetlands Restoration Strategy, the National Environment Management Authority, in collaboration with the Makueni County government, identified 5 wetlands for gazettement, including Q wetland. The wetland was identified for gazettement and conservation with plans to relocate and compensate 83 households residing within the wetland area. To date, the community has not received any information regarding the gazettement on location related to the same. Lack of gazettement exposes the wetland to environmental degradation and mismanagement. The petitioner's prayer was that the Assembly intervenes to ensure that the Makueni County Executive Committee member in charge of the Department of the Lands, Urban Planning and Development and Environment and Climate Change commit to provide up-to-date information on the status of the evacuation and gazettement of the Q wetland. In consideration of the same, Section 5 of the Constitution, Part 3A of the Petition to County Assembly's Procedure Act 2020 provides that the relevant County Assembly Committee may, when considering the petition, invite the petitioners to clarify or submit such further information. As the committee, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, and the Forestry initiated discussions of the Committee on the Wetland during a meeting that was organized by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, and the Forestry held in December 2023. NEMA was instructed to initiate and guide the process of the public participation for gazettement of Q wetland, which is annexed number 1, page 4, action point 2. 2, whether there has been community sensitization or location to create the space of the wetland. Not only one community sensitization forum was held to sensitize the Q wetland community on the progress of the process of gazetting a wetland. The community sensitization never got to the point of discussing the relocation of any community member. According to IMCA, reference Rev 2015, Section 42, subsection 2, the gazettement shall consider the interests of the community residents around the wetland in consideration for the gazettement. Part 3 of 3, provide any measures already put in place to relocate the residents, including compensation for them to locate from the earmarked wetland. This was the response. The department has not put in place any measures to relocate the residents of the Q wetland. Part 4 is provide measures put in place to protect the wetland from degradation and mismanagement. The response we got as a committee was that the department has deployed a Count Forest Guard for surveillance purposes. Kenya Forest Service also erected a camp for forest rangers for surveillance of the presidential tree planting site. Now, the committee observed the following, that 1, Q wetland ecosystem was never gazetted. Further, there were no adequate community sensitization on the location and gazettement of the same. 2, no measures had been put in place to locate the residents from the wetland. 3, no measures had been put in place for compensation of the affected landowners or households. In this context, the committee gave the following recommendations: that the ECM lands urban planning and the development, environment and climate change should lie hands with the relevant department of the national government to initiate the process of gazetting the wetland and a progress report given to this committee within 60 days. 2, the ECM lands, urban planning and development and environment and climate change should initiate continuous community sensitization on the gazettement of the wetland and any matter that subscribes to that. 3, the ECM lands, urban planning and development, environment and climate change should map out the affected households with a view of initiating land compensation in liaison with the Ministry of Lands. That said and done, Mr. Speaker, sir, I take this opportunity to acknowledge, on behalf of the committee, to acknowledge the Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly for facilitating the committee during the consideration of this report, and also thank the honorable members of the committee that participated in the whole exercise and diary. Pursuant to Section 5, Part 4 of the petition to County Assembly's Procedure Act 2020, as read together with
on the Speaker's Gallery. That's why it's a Speaker's Gallery. And that communication should have been forwarded. The Makueni County Financial Year 2026-2027 Annual Development Plan and the Makueni County Financial Year 2025-2026 Supplementary Budget 1 estimates be committed to the Committee of Budget and Appropriations to interrogate and report back to the Assembly within 21 days. Once again, I direct the Makueni County Energy Policy of 2025. Member from Mavindini, you still there? Thank you. The Makueni County Energy Policy of 2025 be committed to the Committee of Infrastructure, Transport and Public Works, Housing and Energy to interrogate and report to the Assembly within 30 days. Chairperson, Committee on Health Services to table a report, the committee's half-yearly progress report for the period of January to June 2025. Chairperson.
Honorable Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly, the half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Health Services for the period January to June 2025.
Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries and Cooperative Development to table the committee's half-yearly progress report for the period of January to June 2025. Chairperson.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly, and that is the half-yearly progress report on the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperative Development for the period January to June 2025. I lay.
Chairperson, Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation, table the half-yearly progress report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to table the half-yearly progress report for the Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation of the period between January to June 2025. I lay.
Chairperson, Committee on General Oversight, to table the committee's report regarding the implementation of various agriculture projects in the county. Chairperson, Committee on General Oversight. Yes. It's Committee on General Oversight, which is headed by the Speaker. In absence is the Deputy Speaker. In absentia, Leader of Majority of Speakers Panel. Any member of the panel? Member from Bitini. As he consults Chairperson, Committee on Health Services, to table the committee's report on the oversight exercise on the implementation of Social Health Authority, Social Health Insurance Fund across the county, as conducted on 22nd and 23rd of July 2025. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly, the report of the county.
I stand to lay the paper on the report of the Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation on oversight of problematic water projects across the county, as conducted on 21st and 22nd August 2025. I lay.
Chairperson, County Public Accounts Committee, to table the committee's report on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on Water Municipality for the year ended 30th of June 2024. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I have two papers to lay. I wish I can do it once. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly. The following papers on the table of the Assembly. The report of the County Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on County Executive of Makueni for the year ended 30th June 2024. And the report of the County Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on Water Municipality for the year ended 30th June 2024. LA.
You have done the two papers? Chairperson? You did the two papers? Chairperson, Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration, and Special Programs, to table the committee's half-yearly progress report.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I lay, it's my humble request that
Chairperson, please press your microphone. But as you press, I will give you an opportunity for that. We'll revert back to that. Please proceed with the...
For the period January to...
That this Assembly adopts the report of the County Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on Water Municipality for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on the 6th October 2025.
Chairperson, Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration and Special Programs to give a notice of motion on the half-yearly progress report.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to give notice of the following motion that this Assembly adopt the half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration and Special Programs the period January to June 2025 laid on the table of the Assembly on 6th October 2025. Thank you.
Chairperson, Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning on Wednesday, 2:30. Fine. Chairperson, Committee on Budget and Appropriations.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to give the notice of the following motion that this Assembly adopts the half-yearly progress report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee for the period January to June 2025 laid on the table of the Assembly on 6th October 2025.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order number 43-2, that states that business shall be disposed in the sequence as it appears in the order paper, or such as the Speaker, as such sequence as the Speaker may, for the convenience of the Assembly, direct. Therefore, honorable members, in regards to the important business that is before us, I beg that we be a bit patient so that we may be able to dispense. I wish to direct that we move and dispense order number 8. That is the second reading of the Solid Waste Management Bill, 9 and 10. Number 9, 8, 9, and also number 11 that are before us and are in urgency. Therefore, Clerk, can we go to the next order, number 8?
Order number 8, the Makueni County Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. Order for second reading.
Chairperson, Committee on Environment and Climate Change. To move
of the Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders and is mandated to, among others, make reports and recommendations to the County Assembly as often as possible, including recommendations of the proposed legislation. The Speaker, sir, the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, Makueni, into brackets Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, underwent first reading on 12th August 2025 and was subsequently committed to the Committee on Environment and Climate Change, pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order number 145 of the Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders, in compliance with the Article 196, subsection 2 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and the Standing Order number 145 of the Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders. The committee was tasked to conduct public participation and take into account the views and recommendations of the public and present a report to the County Assembly within 20 calendar days. In this context, the committee gives the highlights of the bill. The Speaker, sir, the bill seeks to provide for implementation of specific provisions on Makueni County sustainable solid waste management in accordance with Section Pollution Control. That is, it provides for segregation and waste at source, handling of hazardous waste, structure and integrated county waste management plan, county waste management information systems for collecting, recording, management, and analysis of solid waste data, and the minimization, extended producer responsibility that require every producer to bear and fulfill extended producer responsibility obligations individually or collectively for any waste arising therefrom in accordance with the provisions of the Sustainable Waste Management Act, number 31 of 2022 laws of Kenya. Part 4, it provides for waste collection and transportation. That is, it gives provision for the responsibility of the county government to collect waste, application for a license, and the minimum requirements for waste collector, establishment of the waste collection points, waste collection, obligation of owners and occupiers of houses, buildings or premises, obligation of waste generators, obligation of waste service providers, and a license to collect and transport waste. Part 5, it is material recovery, recycling, and composting. It provides for, 1, establishment of material recovery facilities, which gives requirement for environmental impact assessment, environmental audits for material recovery facilities, obligation to channel waste through material recovery facilities, access to materials, as well as compliance with the Act, license to establish or operate recycling or composting plants, environmental audits for waste recycling and composting plants. Part 6 gives waste disposal, which provides for prohibition of waste disposal in non-designated places. 2, obligation to deliver waste to designated disposal facilities, obligation of county government to provide waste disposal facilities, environmental impact assessment for waste disposal facilities, as well as environmental audits for waste disposal facilities. Part 7, it gives financial provisions, which provides for fees, levies, charges, and incentives for waste management. Part 8, it provides for power to make regulations. Part 9, offenses and the penalties. It provides for general offenses and the instant fines and the penalties that shall be a source of revenue to the county government. In this context, Mr. Speaker, the committee gave a consideration that it deliberated on the bill during its sittings. However, due to other planned programs of the County Assembly, it was not able to undertake public participation as stipulated under Article 196, subsection 2 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. The standing orders number 145, subsection 3, the Makueni County Assembly standing orders. The committee therefore reports a progress on its consideration of the bill and the 621 days to conduct the public participation and table its report. In this context, Mr. Speaker, having said that, I call upon Honorable Kimungu from Mavindini, who is a member of this committee, to second this motion. Thank you.
Member from Mvindi? Okay. Next order. Honorable members, I now propose the question that the Makueni County Solid Waste Management Bill of 2025, that is the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, be now read a second time. The floor is open for debate. Any member willing to contribute? Honorable members, I now put the question. The Makueni County Solid Waste Management Bill of 2025, the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025 be read for a second time. As many of these opinions say aye, as many of our contrary opinions say nay, the ayes have it. Next order. Clerk.
The Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, a bill for an act of the County Assembly of Makueni to implement the devolved function.
That is the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 11 of 2025, which it contains financial provisions and establishes the county forest management and landscape restoration fund alongside its source of funds. Part 5 is the enforcement and the compliance. Contains provisions of enforcement and compliance on forest matters and that of officers, and confers powers to enforcement and authorized officers. Part 6, it gives the offenses and the penalties, provides for offenses and penalties. Part 7, it provides for miscellaneous provisions, which contains application of other laws, customary rights, and incentives and benefits sharing. It also goes further and provides for tax and the fiscal incentives and the county tree planting, as well as events and the extension of offenses under Part 9 of the Forest Conservation and Management Act 2016, which gives also dispute resolution and a provision on regulations. As a committee, we considered and deliberated on the bill during the sittings. However, due to the county assembly, again, it was not able for us to undertake public participation as stipulated under Article 196, subsection 2 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and the Standing Orders number 145, subsection 3 of the Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders. The committee therefore reports a progress on its consideration of the bill and the 621 days to conduct the public participation and table its report. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I said, as a committee, we went through this particular bill in details and line by line, and we are able to bring this for the report. In this context, I will also ask the honorable member for Mavindini, Jonathan Kimongo, to second this second reading.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now put the question. This assembly adopts the Makueni County Forest Management and Landscape Restoration Bill of 2025. That is the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 11 of 2025. We now read a second time. The floor is open for debate. Any member willing to contribute? Honorable Minority Leader, please take a seat. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Makueni County Forest Management and Landscape Restoration Bill 2025, the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 11 of 2025, be now read a second time. As many of these opinions say aye, as many of our contrary opinions say nay, the ayes have it. Next order. Member for Bunge, what is it? Member for Bunge, please take your seat. Hold on a bit, we've finished because I've just put the question. We finished with the second round.
The Makueni County Forest Management and Landscape Restoration Bill 2025, and Bill 4, an act of the County Assembly of Makueni to give effect to Article 42, 69(1) and Section 10B of Part 2 of the 4th Schedule of the Constitution, to provide for sustainable forest management and landscape restoration and for connected purposes. Second reading.
Next order. Member for Bunge.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think these the issues we are discussing or debating here, they are very sensitive, Honorable Speaker. And we cannot discuss some of these issues when we don't have quorum. So, Honorable Speaker, I request that we look on that. And also, it's also good, Honorable Speaker, because I've gotten this opportunity. I also welcome the students from Mavindini to this assembly. I want to tell them that, Honorable Speaker, one of the outstanding chairs in this assembly is their MCA, who is Mheshimiwa Kimongo, who is my chair, Committee of Park. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Sergeant at Arms, ring the quorum bell so that we may be able to proceed. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Chairperson. Sergeant at arms, you may stop ringing the quorum bell. Thank you, honorable members. The time being 16:01 hours because of lack of quorum. The time is done. They haven't come. The time now being 16:01 hours. The assembly adjourns until tomorrow, Tuesday, 7th of October at 9:30 a.m.